playoffs, and if you're a Springdale Bulldog, it means you're in it. An almost automatic Springdale Bulldog football team, the number one ranked team in the state, will begin its quest for the Quad 4 state championship as they entertain tonight at home the Watson Chapel Wildcats. The Springdale Bulldogs continuing their streak of entering into the playoffs, postseason play, are hosting this first round game. And by the way, I want to read to you the first of three statements I need to read to you from the Arkansas Activities Association, which says the schools participating in this football playoff game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by their school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the AAA. I got the first one done. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exclusive replay of Bulldog football. I'm Mark Brooks, and we're about to bring you what we think will be an exciting state playoff game as Dean Bradley gets ready to put the toe to the football as the Bulldogs received or won the toss and deferred as they usually do. And they'll kick it off. And it's a high kickoff. It's going to be taken at about the 15-yard line. Running back from Watson Chapel fumbles it and then swarmed upon by the Bulldogs. He's going to get up to about the 24-yard line, and that's where Watson Chapel will set up shop. Now, Watson Chapel is the third-ranked team in the Quad 4A South. They come in with an even 5-5 record, which is maybe a little bit deceiving. They've played some tough opposition. Could very well easily be 7-2 according to their coach. Last week they battled the crosstown rival Pine Bluff to a 25-22 loss. Their quarterback, Kevin Williams, we're going to have a penalty to start the game off. Kevin Williams is their quarterback. He's a senior 6'1", 170-pounder. And he makes things go, but a legal procedure gives them the first penalty of the night, and they're going to be backed up, and they'll have a 1st and 15 then, as it will put the ball on the 20-yard line. So Watson Chapel, hoping to come in here and upset the number one ranked team in the state, does not need to do that. They've got to have everything go right tonight and nothing wrong. Williams, the quarterback, leads the option, pitches to the tailback, Griffin, and he's going to get stacked up by Wes Coates and Toma Wharton. Now Griffin has to have a big night for Watson Chapel to have a chance. He's got about 700 yards on this season. He's the tailback. He's a 5'10", 150-pound sophomore, and so he's their hope for a couple of years even after this. Also in the backfield will be James Parker at fullback. He's a 5'8", 160-pound senior, and so that's going to be the key for Watson Chapel tonight if Williams has a big game along with Griffin. Williams brings his team to the set. He's got 2nd and 15, takes the snap, hands off inside. He's going to pick up a little bit of yardage, but he's going to be swarmed under by the Bulldogs and brought down. That was Parker, the fullback, on the carry as he was swarmed under by a host of Springdale Bulldogs. We again want to thank those who make this game possible: Lehman's Shopping Center, Worthen Bank, Pete's Inn, Springdale Dodge, First National Bank, and Elmdale Baptist Church. Hope if you get a chance, you'll tell those folks that we appreciate their sponsorship of Bulldog football. 3rd down and 10. Williams drops back, he's looking, he's got a man wide open. He gets the ball. West Coast sucks, hits him hard, but he is going to pick up the first down. Wide open receiver gets the ball up to the 41-yard line of Watson Chapel. And so they pick up the night's first down after some very sloppy play to begin this series with. Play coming in by Kevin Broyles, one of the quarterbacks in split ends. Williams, the senior quarterback, which is the real key tonight for Watson Chapel. Inside handoff again to the fullback. He's stuffed by just a determined defensive front there by the Bulldogs, and he might be given credit for getting back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be just about it. The Springdale defense has played outstanding really for about the last 3 weeks. Just an incredible play. Last week, the first team did not give up a touchdown. It was late in the game when Fayetteville scored. And really, the Bulldogs haven't given a touchdown up in about 3 weeks, as against Van Buren, they scored on a kickoff return. Williams' pass has a man wide open. And it's going to be a first down deep inside, well, not deep, but to the 41-yard line of Springdale. Number 6, Stephen Whitfield, makes the catch, and that's the second first down for Watson Chapel as they're driving. One of the things the Springdale defense has had some difficulty in has been defense against the pass. And as yet, they have not exhibited the pass rush that has been a saving factor for them. So first down at 9:15 mark with the ball marked on the 42-yard line of Springdale. Watson Chapel hoping for an upset. Handoff inside to their big stud running back, Cedric Griffin, and he gets racked back behind the line of scrimmage. And so the running game for Watson Chapel is simply not there. He's going to lose about a yard or so. Kenny Watson, one of the key men in on the tackle there, who's come on and played just great defense in the second half of the season for the Springdale Bulldogs. It's our great joy to be able to bring you these replays each week, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and Thursday night at 7 o'clock. If you miss some of the action, well, then you can catch it on one of the other evenings, and we're excited about this. Williams at quarterback fakes the handoff, or actually gives to the man. A fullback inside. He's going to make about a yard or so. It's going to bring up a third down. As he gets inside the 40-yard line, just barely, the nose is going to be just inside the 40-yard line of Springdale territory. Now, a lot of people talked about, in fact, the paper reported the fact that Springdale back in 1984 went into the playoffs #1 and were upset by Little Rock Hall. And so Coach Williams and many of the people are reminding the Bulldogs not to get cocky about this Watson Chapel team. There's Williams attempting the option play. He got about 2 or 3 yards on the play, but then he was brought down. That's going to bring up fourth down. And we'll have to see whether or not Watson Chapel will go for it. Springdale brings in their punt receiving team, but as yet no indication of Watson Chapel going to punt. And it does appear they're sending in their punting team at this time too. Watson Chapel penetrated to the 37-yard line before this drive stalled. It began on their 25-yard line. They had a penalty, and then Alan Wagley will be the punter here. And we're going to have probably a penalty here. Wasn't delay of game. I didn't see exactly what happened. So we'll get the mark by the official as they discuss it. Offsides against Watson Chapel, and so that's their second penalty. We'll back them up. Sometimes that doesn't hurt you as bad, depending on the kind of leg that Wagley has. He might be able to do a better job of pinning Springdale deep in its own territory. Field tonight, a little bit soggy, could be a factor in the game. There's going to be some slippage on the part of the players. Good snap. Wagley has a fake, throws the ball, but it's incomplete. So Watson Chapel, I'll tell you what, you got to give them credit for the fact that they've come out doing some things different. Went for it on fourth down, a fake punt. I'm not sure if he'd have completed the pass if he had been able to make the first down, because it was fourth and about 13 or so yards. But Wagley threw the ball, and it was a poorly thrown pass. The receiver had to reach down for it, couldn't get a handle on it, and so the Springdale Bulldogs will set up shop at their own 42-yard line with 7:08 left in the quarter. Brad Downham at quarterback sneaks ahead and gets about 3 or 4 yards on the carry. Appeared to be a set play that he just rammed ahead and followed Don Streepy behind him. There you see Springdale cheerleaders as they seeking to fire up the Bulldog fans, get them into this game. And right now, a little chilly out there, and so it's going to take some big plays to get these fans on their feet. Second down 7 is the mark. Downham takes the snap, hands off to Tommy Golden, goes inside the line and just gets nowhere as he is met head on by several Watson Chapel defenders. And so he gets maybe a yard on the carry. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 6 as the ball's on the 45-yard line of Springdale. Tommy Golden is zeroing in on the single, or the career rushing mark, and he has over 1,200 yards this season. He goes in motion. Downham takes the snap, fakes the handoff, follows his blocker. He's going to be well short of the first down as he gets up close to the 50-yard line. It's going to be marked at about the 48-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Bulldogs. And so it's going to be a punting situation for them at the 5:50 and counting mark. So Watson Chapel doing what they need to do thus far this evening, has held the potent Springdale offense controlling the line of scrimmage, which is something that very few teams have been able to do. And so in to do the punting is Paul Webb. Good snap. Webb gets a good high spiraling kick. Fair catch is called for. Fumble the ball. Springdale Bulldogs have the recovery. And I tell you what, that is a big, big break as they're going to have the ball at right about the 15-yard line. An excellent heads-up play by the punt team. And the Bulldogs, who were stymied, get the first turnover of the night on that punt play. Really wasn't that difficult of a punt to handle. And I don't know if the receiver lost it in the lights or just exactly what happened, but the Bulldogs are going to have a first down on the 15-yard line. Brad Downham with Batchelor and Golden in the backfield. Golden takes the pitch, gets by a couple of blockers, and then gets shellacked as he gets down close to the 10-yard line. They're going to give him to the 11-yard line. Number 21, Clifton Westmoreland, is the big ring leader on the defense for Watson Chapel. And they're going to do their best to keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone. Second down, 6, ball's on the 11-yard line. Brad Downham, Clinton White in the backfield with Parker and Golden. Golden goes in motion. Parker's got the handoff, and he's going to get maybe a yard or so. And as I mentioned, Clifton Westmoreland is their mainstay, and he made the tackle there. He's a 5'10", 210-pound senior linebacker. Plays the middle linebacking position. Springdale has a 3rd and 5 now, as Watson Chapel's playing very determined football thus far. Brad Downham at quarterback. Parker in motion, takes the snap, comes down the line, cuts back inside. He's in for the touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run at the 3:59 mark by Brad Downham puts the Bulldogs up on top, 6-0, with Booger Mosley coming in to try to make it 7. That drive began on the 42-yard line of Springdale. They were held. They punted. Big turnover by Watson Chapel. Deep in their territory at the 15-yard line, the Bulldogs punch it in to take the first score. There's the snap. It's good. The kick is up and good, and it's 7-0, and we'll be back after this message.
You watch your daughter grow up in what seems like 20 minutes, when all of a sudden she's off for college with half the house and a little prayer. It took a student loan from Worthing to do it. And with Worthing all over Arkansas, I can open her student account here, send her there, and at least know the money's taken care of. Well, it may not be the picture of me I'd hope she'd take.
Checkbook, great.
But it's still a little piece of home.
March to the state championship game as they take a 7-0 lead. Dean Bradley kicks off to the 4-yard line, bobbled a little bit. There's a hold, opens up, but it's quickly closed by the Bulldogs, but not before the Watson Chapel receiver brings the ball up to about the 27-yard line, and they'll begin their possession from there. We do have a penalty play, or a penalty flag on the play. And we'll see what they're going to call here. John Conklin signaling that it's against Watson Chapel, so we'll see what this will do to the mark. Holding's the call against Watson Chapel. And the referee discussing it with Downham, just exactly what they'll do in this situation. And there's the call. Holding. And it appears that we're going to be kicking this one all over again. While we're taking this break, let me read the final message that I need to give you, and that is the Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation. And so, we'll try again to kick this thing off. And I have fulfilled our responsibilities to the Arkansas Activities Association. And we do appreciate all that they do for high school sports. And I know that Dean Bradley is very thankful for the Arkansas Activities Association. As he kicks this off, he's probably thinking about the Arkansas Activities Association. Probably fresh on his mind as he puts his toe to this ball and he drives the kick into the end zone. And so the Bulldogs are going to come out ahead in this. The ball is going to be marked at the 20-yard line, where Watson Chapel will have a 1st and 10 with 3:53 left in the first quarter. Watson Chapel desperately needs to keep this game close. They were doing that, and it held the Bulldogs on their first possession, made them punt, but a turnover on the punt gave the Bulldogs the ball on the 15-yard line. So Kevin Williams, the quarterback from Watson Chapel, with Griffin and Parker in the backfield, will try once again. Some fierce hitting there, and finally brought down by John Conklin, who gets the crowd fired up. And he says, hello, Clifton Westmoreland. Welcome to Springdale. Great tackle made there, as some good penetration was made in the backfield by the Springdale Bulldogs. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12 yards. So far, Watson Chapel's only real success of the evening has been in the passing department, so we'll see whether or not Mr. Williams will drop back to pass. And he does. It's tipped, dive for, and they're going to credit him. No, now he's going to change his mind. Toma Warding made a play, and at first the referee signaled that he made the catch, then he waved it off, and I wasn't watching our monitor, but I tell you what, I want to watch the replay this week to see whether or not Toma Warding had that. That nonetheless is going to bring up a 3rd and 12. It was tipped. Didn't see who tipped the ball at the line of the scrimmage. I think that John Conklin made the tip. At any rate, it's an incomplete pass, but that could have been a big turnover for the Bulldogs. Williams faced with 3rd and 12 for Watson Chapel. Takes the snap, hands off inside, nothing doing. There's some fierce tackling going on by the Springdale Bulldogs. I mean, they're just teeing off on Watson Chapel running backs. And you get one defender will stand the man up, and then several defenders just shellac him. And so Springdale holds and will set up shop, hoping to receive a punt. Now, remember last time, Alan Wagley didn't punt, he passed. And you have to credit Watson Chapel at least trying to mix it up, knowing that they're the underdog, trying to do all they can. Now, we've got some mix-up by Watson Chapel as they try to figure out. Now, we have a penalty. It's going to be offsides on Watson Chapel. As they had a man come in late, had one man wave him off, we don't need you. It was like, do I stay? Do I leave? What do I do? He got him a penalty. 5 more yards. So it's going to back them up. They had the ball at about the 19-yard line. It's going to back them up to just inside the 15-yard line. The nose of the football will be right at the 15-yard line. And so it'll put Wagley on the goal line. Good snap. And this one he does punt, sort of a wobbly punt. And it just sort of dies and rolls towards the sidelines. And so it's going to be good field position for the Bulldogs as they're going to have a 1st and 10 at almost the 35-yard line of Watson Chapel. At the 2:10 mark of the first quarter left, it's going to be at the 34-yard line, and so we'll see what the Bulldogs can do on this, their 3rd possession. Well, actually, I guess it's their 2nd possession. It's inside handoff. Good yardage picked up there by Tommy Golden as he just hit the line of scrimmage very quickly. Good hole driven in there by the offensive line that has just done a tremendous job this year of driving people back. And so it's going to bring up about a 2nd, and they're going to mark it 2nd and 7, but it's closer to 6. I thought really he had more yardage than that, but as we've often noticed, those referees like to move that ball back a foot or so. Here's a quick pitch to Golden. He's wide open, has a man to beat to the outside, does so, and gets down to about the 16-yard line, and so it's going to be a 1st down for the Springdale Bulldogs. And by my standard, that's their first down. Just a little quick pitch there to Golden, and Watson Chapel had no one close outside, and so Tommy Golden just got outside before anybody could drive him out of bounds. There's the inside handoff to Batchelor, and he's got a couple of yards inside the 15-yard line to about the 14 or so. It's going to bring up a second down and about 7 yards to go as the play comes in with Paul Williams coming in, and he splits out wide. Clinton White in the backfield. Golden takes the snap, cuts back inside. He's going to get loose. In for the touchdown. Tommy Golden, 13-yard touchdown run with 44 seconds left. Tommy Golden headed to his left, just cut back to his right, and then waltzed into the end zone with really no one around him. Now, Watson Chapel is going to have to get used very quickly to the fact that Tommy Golden is very quick-footed. He can make those little cuts and change directions very quickly. He did so there, and so Booger Mosley is attempting to make it 14-0, and does. And so with 44 seconds left in the first quarter, it's 14-0. We'll be back after this message.
Well, if you're hungry for some pizza, come on and live it up at Pizza Inn. It's the place to live it up, made fresh from scratch. Live it up. We pound it on. Live it up. Best pizza anywhere. Live it up. Until that pizza's gone. If you love pizza, the Inn is the place.
Live it up at Pizza Inn's all-you-can-eat buffet. Enjoy your favorite pizza, spaghetti, salad bar, and dessert for a lovely price.
Serving you at Fort Smith, Fayetteville, and Springdale.
Well, welcome back, where we have 44 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Bulldogs are set to kick off for the third time in this game. As Dean Bradley sets up to do so, the Bulldogs went ahead 14-0, increased their lead on a 13-yard touchdown run by Tommy Golden. And there's the kick, and it's a good high driving kick back to the 3-yard line as it's taken. The defender had a good hole, but could not get by the last man. Number 46, Kenny Watson, grabbed him by the ankle and just twisted him down. But it was a good return by Watson Chapel, and it's going to give them fairly good field position as they're up close to the 30-yard line, as indeed the ball is marked smack dab on the 30-yard line. And so with 36 seconds left, a 26-yard kickoff return, Watson Chapel will set up here. This should be the last play of the first quarter. Williams, the quarterback, takes the snap, comes down the line, options out. Great defensive coverage there. Toma Wharton stayed at home and made that play. And Watson Chapel makes very little on that, perhaps a half yard. Griffin took the pitch, but Toma Wharton met him right in the backfield, and that was excellently defensed by Springdale. We've come to the end of the first quarter with the Springdale Bulldogs ahead 14-0. We'll be back after this message.
More and more, our customers are getting a great night's sleep on Spring Air back supporter mattresses. You can too. All Spring Air bedding is on sale at Lehman's now. Prices start as low as $96 for twin set, $129 for full set. The selection has never been better. The prices can't be beat. I sleep on a Spring Air mattress myself, and I think you should too.
Going to pick up a couple of yards as he is ridden down by a host of Springdale Bulldogs. Kevin Williams, the senior quarterback for Watson Chapel. If he has a good night and Cedric Griffin have a good night, Watson Chapel has a good night, but thus far those two young men have not had good nights. Williams has connected on a couple of passes, and this could possibly be a passing down. 3rd and 6 with the ball on the 35-yard line. Williams drops back, being rushed. Gets to the outside, sets up. That ball was almost picked off, then it was almost tipped into the hands of a Watson Chapel defender, but nonetheless the Bulldogs apply the pressure, which is what they need to do, and they hold, and with 4th and 6 and the ball on their own 35-yard line, Watson Chapel would appear to punt. Now, I say appear to punt because the first time they set up the punt, they faked the punt and went for a pass play that was incomplete. So the Bulldogs holding down the fort here defensively have held and have an opportunity to get the ball back. Tommy Golden, Brad Downham, and Steve Batchelor are back deep for the Bulldogs. Wagley takes the snap, gets a low punt. Tommy Golden takes, moves the outside. He's got a wall. One more block he needs. Cuts inside of the block, still on his feet, and gets down to the 49-yard line. And so the Bulldogs have, again, excellent position from which to set up. Good wall set up there by Golden. And made good yardage there on what was a low kick. And often when there's a low kick like that and it gets downfield quickly, well, the defenders have a hard time getting downfield themselves, and that's exactly what happened. So Brad Downham will set up shop with the Springdale offense at the 49-yard line. Batchelor, the lone running back. He's going to pass. He's got a man wide open as he stretches out for the first down. Andy Neese makes the first down, moves into Watson Chapel territory. They're going to mark him at about the 39-yard line of Watson Chapel. So the first pass of the evening for the Bulldogs, and it is a completion as Downham connects on about a 12-yard pass play. 10:38 and counting in the half. Downham takes the snap, hands off to Parker. Parker tries to get by the one man, but is unable to do so. Number 54, Todd Maxwell, makes the stop for Watson Chapel. And they're going to give Parker about a yard of the play. So it's going to bring up second down, 9 yards to go from the 37-yard line of Watson Chapel. There's the cheerleaders who are trying to cheer on the faithful here. And the faithful is trying to stay warm tonight. Really great football weather, and if the field wasn't wet, I think it'd be excellent weather for the players as well. Tommy Golden goes in motion. This is a pass play, sets up, overthrows, as he had a man that I believe fell down. It looked like Andy Downham was the intended receiver, and he slipped down. Of course, last week, the Downhams connected twice for touchdowns. It's going to bring up third down and 9. For the Springdale Bulldogs. A little bit different offensive set in terms of positioning of players. Clinton White, lone setback. Downham is again going to pass as he drops back. He's got Golden wide open. Golden's going to get down to about the 21-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. So Tommy Golden catches the ball and shows his versatility. Tommy Golden's had an incredible year this year as he has played defense, of course done well on offense, over 1,200 yards rushing. He's caught the ball, he's taken kickoff returns, punt returns. Tommy Golden has done just about everything that you can do on a football team. Golden takes the snap, bounces out to the outside, but was unable to get by the defensive lineman who had penetrated into the backfield, and he's going to lose about a yard, bring up second down and 11. Both Golden and Downham, very versatile athletes for the Springdale Bulldogs, and have played a host of different positions. Golden lined up in the wingback slot. A different formation look by Coach Williams. Here's a pass. Down's going to roll. Looked like he was going to run, then decided he'd go back and attempt to pass, and throws the ball incomplete. And so it's going to bring up third down, 11 yards to go with the ball on the 22-yard line. The Bulldogs having a little bit of trouble here after picking up some good yardage on an excellent punt return, after an excellent punt return by Tommy Golden. Appreciate you tuning in, watching these replays. Many of you shiver through games like this, and then the next week you watch it again. And we appreciate that. Golden goes in motion. Downham drops back. He fakes the pass to Golden and sets up a screen pass to Parker as he cuts inside. makes another excellent cut, gets down inside the 10-yard line. In fact, he gets to about the 4-yard line and is going to make a first down. That was an excellent play. Downham fake to Golden, and anytime you even look like you're going to do anything to Golden, that draws some people. He threw back to Parker on a screen that was set up, had some excellent blocks, and Parker made some wise decisions in terms of utilizing his blockers and got down to the 4-yard line, giving Springdale a first and goal at the 8:31 mark. And if you're Watson Chapel, this is the touchdown that could very well put the last nail in the coffin for you. Tommy Golden takes the pitch. He's going to get into the end zone at the 8:20 mark with a 4-yard touchdown run. Tommy Golden scores his second touchdown of the night. And Springdale goes up 20-0. At the 8:20 mark in the second, Tommy Golden, 4-yard touchdown run. Just a little quick pitch there, and he broke it to the outside. Booger Mosley, high snap, but he gets the ball down, and it's good. And so with 8:20 left, it's 21-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Since 1907, we at First National Bank of Springdale have consistently retained a majority of our profits to build a strong capital base for our depositors' protection. At the same time, we've expanded services and locations at a rate consistent with safety and soundness. Our commitment to the community is to remain one of the safest and strongest banks in the nation while serving the financial needs of our customers.
Advancing in the state playoffs. Watson Chapel 5-5 on the year. Boy, what a long bus ride this must have been up here, and what a long ride it'll be back if they don't do something. They fumble the kickoff, he picks it up, and as often happens when you do that, he gets a good break as the Springdale coverage breaks down, and he gets the ball up near midfield to about the 49-yard line. So just as we were burying Watson Chapel, as they fumbled the ball, he picked it back up, had an opening, and advanced the ball up to the 49-yard line, and that may give them a little bit of life, and so we better not talk too soon about their long bus ride home. Springdale, if they win this game, will be on the road next week, and a yet-to-be-determined site. That will depend upon tonight's outcome. One of 4 teams in the Quad 4A West in the playoffs. Williams drops back. He's going for a long pass, but he's way overthrown his man, as there was no one near that, and Tim Williams dived trying to intercept the ball, but it was over his head as well. So that's going to bring up a second down, 10 yards to go. The Bulldog defense has played brilliantly these last few weeks. In fact, they've just played well since really the north side game and beyond. They've just done an outstanding job, and very few teams have been able to do much with this Springdale Bulldog defense. Williams faked the inside handoff, pulled the ball out, but he could not get by Steve Blackwood, who's had a tremendous second half of the season on defense, has just made some bruising tackles, and it's going to bring up a third down and about 8 yards to go. Clint Penzo checks in. Big Clint, 6'5", on the defensive line. Bulldogs tonight playing without Justin Scott, who has an injured Achilles tendon. Third down, 8 to go. Williams, quick drop back, quarterback draw, fumbles the ball. Bulldogs signal that they have received it, and indeed that's what the officials give them credit for, and so another key turnover for the Springdale Bulldogs, as Wes Coates, who has done just about everything on defense for Springdale, leading the team in tackles, picks up a fumble, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Springdale Bulldogs on the 46-yard line. At the 7-minute mark, Springdale sets up shop. Brad Downham, Tommy Golden in motion. Penalty play as Parker takes the handoff. Good running room, waits on a block, gets down inside Watson Chapel territory to the 39-yard line, but there was a flag in the backfield. And legal procedure is going to be the call, and so Springdale is going to be backed up. Good running play there by Parker, who had good blocks, but it's going to be a penalty against Springdale, and will erase forever. An excellent run. Illegal motion is the call, and so be first down, 15 yards to go. Doesn't appear that many folks from Watson Chapel made that long trip from Pine Bluff. I don't know that I blame them. I made that trip from Pine Bluff Tuesday, came back from a meeting, and that's a long drive. And to make it all in one day, I don't know I'd want to do it. Hand off to Tommy Golden. Golden's going to make a yard or so. He gets caught up into heavy traffic and is ultimately ridden down by a host of Watson Chapel Wildcats. So Watson Chapel will have put Springdale in a hole with that penalty as it's second down. 12 yards to go. Ball's on the 45-yard line. And you'd think this would be an obvious passing down at the 6-minute mark. Downham fakes a handoff, comes around left in. He's got good running room. He's got the first down, dodges by some tacklers, and dives inside the 35-yard line. And that's a crowd pleaser. Tremendous play there, and sloppy tackling by Watson Chapel allowed Brad Downham to advance that ball deep into their territory with a first down.
22-yard pickup on that play.
Credit him with 22 yards on the pickup. Brad Downham, who's just had a great year, keeps this drive alive. There's a pitch play to Tommy Golden. Golden just follows his blockers, keeps driving. He is going to be down around the 25-yard line. Depends on where they mark it. As they get him close to being out of bounds, he's going to be just inside the 25-yard line. And it's going to bring up second down in the short yard, maybe about a foot or so. Clock continues to run, and we may well see if this continues. A host of Bulldogs playing before this night's over. Golden takes the handoff, bounces it outside, dodges by one tackler. He may have enough for the first down, as it appears he does. The Bulldogs keep the drive alive with their sixth first down of this first half, and there's still plenty of time left. 4:54 is what the clock says and counting. Springdale Bulldogs doing what they do so well, controlling the football, grinding out the yardage, as well as grinding out and taking time off the clock. Brad Downham, Golden in motion, Clint White in the backfield. He's got a pass called, throws the ball, but overthrows the intended receiver, which was Andy Downham. He's going to bring up second down then, and 10 yards to go. Clinton White comes out, and Steve Batchelor comes in. The Bulldogs have been blessed with good athletes at the fullback position. And again, what we see happening this week happened last week. A sideline very muddy on the Bulldog bench, and so you've got the coaching staff on the field with about 3 or 4 players standing out there with him. Downham hands off to Golden. He's got a hole. He jukes by one man and gets close to the first down. It's going to depend on the mark. He's going to be inside the 15-yard line. They've not moved the chains yet, and it's going to be third and short, maybe about an inch or so, 6 inches maybe, for the first down. Third down and 1, ball's on the 15-yard line. And that'd be the first down. Tommy Golden picks up the first down for the Bulldogs. Watson Chapel, if they give up a touchdown here, this really will put them in a hole. Already 3 touchdowns down to the #1 ranked team in the state of Arkansas, the Springdale Bulldogs, with an 8-2 record. Golden in motion, handoff to Parker. He's going to pick up a couple of yards before he's ridden down. You see there good coverage by Jeff Kimes, our field cameraman, who's down in the elements, freezing, doing a wonderful job, while some of us stand underneath the heater in the press box of Bulldog Stadium. And my director says he's cold. It's a little nippy out tonight. And there's our cameramen out here in the elements doing their best to give you this replay. There's the handoff inside Clinton White. He breaks a tackle and runs into the end zone. So a 10-yard touchdown run at the 2:54 mark by Clinton White. White just ran by a tackler, really just ran through his grass, and puts the Bulldogs up 27-0. Booger Mosley comes out on the field again, and we may wear Booger out for this night. High snap, but the ball's down, and the kick is up, and so it's 21-0 with 2:54 left in the half, and we'll be back after this moment.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge on prices.
We work with you in getting the best manufacturer's discounts and the best trade-in allowances possible.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge on service.
We believe that the real service starts after the sale, making sure your car runs right and fixing it immediately.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge.
Come see us. We'll prove it to you. Who are you? Me? I'm nobody.
Springdale Dodge on South Thompson in Springdale.
Well, they say to err is human. I'm human. I said 21-0. It is, of course, 28-0. And if Don Meredith was here in the press box, he'd be singing "Turn Out the Lights." It's all over. This thing is going to be academic. Watson Chapel can't stay on the same field with the Springdale Bulldog football team. There's still plenty of time left in the half, and we're going to kick the ball off to them again to see if they can do anything whatsoever. And their best hope may be running off back kickoffs, and they do very well at that as they get the ball out to about the 46-yard line. That could be their best chance to score a touchdown, and the way it looks, they may get plenty of chances to do just exactly that, as already the Bulldogs are making some substitutions on defense. 2:46 left in the half, and the clock is rolling. And seems to be some confusion there in Watson Chapel in terms of the play. They're really going to have to hustle to get this play off as Williams tries to move his troops quickly to the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. He hands off inside. Great run as he cuts back outside as juking around. It's just a slippery full. That's the fullback, James Parker. And that is the best play of the night for Watson Chapel, and gives them a first down inside Springdale territory at about the 30-yard line. So just as we start talking about the gloom and doom of Watson Chapel not being able to stay on the field, they make an excellent play. Some of the second team in for the Bulldogs, but nonetheless that was a nifty play. First and 10. Williams pitched out, nobody there. He's gone. Last man, they still can't bring him down, and he gets down close to the goal line, and so the Bulldogs may have been like me, just resting, and the first team comes trotting back in. 28-yard pickup puts Watson Chapel down with a first and goal. And about the 2-3 yard line of Springdale. So they're going to have a first and goal. And we've got some kind of timeout. No indication yet. We may have an injured player, and I believe that we do. As we get a shot there of a camera, see just exactly what it is. That's Kenny Watson. And he may be shaken up just a little bit. They're going to take him off. He's going to have to come off when you have a timeout for injury. You get substituted. And so that's indeed what is going to happen. Sean Withers, who is no stranger to playing time, comes on. clock is rolling with 1:40 and counting. Williams brings his troops up to the line. Handoff inside. And he stopped at about the 1-yard line. So you'd think that if Watson Chapel has any hope at all of staying in this game, they certainly would have to score here. Quite honestly, I think about the only thing that'll mean is that the first team will come back out in the second half and score another touchdown. And we might see again some substitutions being made by the Bulldogs. So second down, 1 yard to go from the 1-yard line is when the ball snapped to be under a minute is now and counting. Kevin Williams, the quarterback, hands off inside. Good penetration, but the running back leaps over into the end zone for a touchdown at the 51-second mark of the half. James Parker dives over after a good initial hit and puts Watson Chapel on the scoreboard for the first time, 6-0. And Watson Chapel appears to be trying the old swinging gate play. And now they shift the setup for the 1-point PAT. And the kick is up and good. And so the score is 28-7. We'll be back after this message.
No, that didn't want to do. There we go, that's right. You know, the thing I like about computers is that when you make a mistake, you can go back and change that mistake and make it all right. If you ever wanted to do that with your life, you know, with Jesus Christ, you can't go back and change things you've done wrong, but you can find forgiveness. The Bible says if we confess our sins, He's faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. At Elmdale Baptist Church, we share with you how you can find God's forgiveness.
Well, they tell you never to relax, never to take your opponent too lightly. And while I was burying Watson Chapel, talking about how they couldn't stay on the same field as Springdale, talking about how their only hope was maybe they could run back kickoffs. They do so, then march down the field and score a touchdown. And so it's 28-7, though there were many second-team defenders in. Nonetheless, Watson Chapel breathes a little bit of life and maybe a little bit of excitement back into this game. And were it not for the best band in the state, I think some folks might have headed for the exit after that fourth touchdown by the Bulldogs. It's cold sitting out there. Of course, everybody wants to watch the Bulldog marching band. They kick it deep. Golden takes it at his 10-yard line, gets some good blocks, keeps on his feet driving, and is finally going to be driven down at the 35-yard line. 26-yard kickoff return. 99.99% of the Springdale Bulldog fans are bundled up in their coldest weather gear, except for one man who has shorts and t-shirts on. I'm not too sure about that man. Clint Miller, quarterback, just sneaks the ball ahead, going to pick up a couple of yards. Could well be the last play of the half. Second team in, many of them. Miller is going to take the snap, hand off inside. He's met fiercely by a couple of Watson Chapel defenders, but that's going to be all for this first half. So the Springdale Bulldogs dominate, and the score at halftime is 28-7. And we'll be back with the Springdale Marching Band. had the first touchdown of the night, 10-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter. And then Tommy Golden had a 13-yard touchdown run. Tommy Golden had a 4-yard touchdown run. Clinton White, a 10-yard smash into the end zone, made it 28-0, and we thought that everything was all over then. Watson Chapel, a couple of good plays. Punched it into the end zone with 51 seconds left. James Parker for the Wildcats, and gave them their lone touchdown of the evening, 28-7. As Alan Wagley will be doing the kickoff chores for the Wildcats. And there's the kick, and we should have an offside, and we do. Watson Chapel, man, was grossly offside there, so we'll see what the officials are going to do with this mark. And it's going to take an awful lot to keep this crowd entertained in the game and in the stands as it's cold. So we'll back it up and try it all over again as Watson Chapel sort of begins where they began the half or the game last time. They began with a penalty, and they had to begin with a penalty again. Appreciate those of you who are tuned in to this exclusive replay. We've been doing this longer than I can remember, to tell you the honest truth. It hadn't been that long, but about 7 years. And we hope to take it all the way to the playoffs, or the finals. We're in the playoffs. There's the punt, or the kick. It's taken by Brad Down about the 20-yard line. He gets a block, gets to the outside, tries to get by another couple of men, but gets up across the 40-yard line. So the Bulldogs are going to have excellent field position to begin this second half with. And the first team does come in for this first series. One of the things we said that may have saved Watson Chapel from seeing the first team was that touchdown. And we'll see what the Bulldogs can do. Brad Downham with Batchelor in the backfield. Parker in motion, gets a good block, gets to the outside, and it's going to get up near midfield. They're going to mark him out at about the 49-yard line. So a good pickup on first down for the Bulldogs. John Parker, some excellent blocking there. It's going to bring up a second down and about 8 yards to go. Not your typical playoff game for Springdale in terms of the crowd size. The crowd was slow to arrive tonight. There's still plenty of seats even in the reserve section, which were open tonight for all hands. And there's quite a few seats over on the visitor side. Second down and 2. And there's a handoff to Tommy Golden. He's got the first down, burst through the line. And Tommy Golden is just so hard to bring down. And is finally ridden down at the 35-yard line. And that's going to give the Bulldogs their first down of the second half. Excellent play. We've got a man down on the field. Well, one of the Wildcats who attempted to make the play on Golden, who just actually, I think, had Tommy Golden, and Golden may have fallen on him, and may just have a case of a young man who has the wind knocked out of him. But they're looking him over. Some concern. No indication yet. Can't see the young man's number. So yeah, we're not quite sure. I tell you what, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this message.
Since 1907, we at First National Bank of Springdale have consistently retained a majority of our profits to build a strong capital base for our depositors' protection. At the same time, we've expanded services and locations at a rate consistent with safety and soundness. Our commitment to the community is to remain one of the safest and strongest banks in the nation while serving the financial needs of our customers. We're strong enough to serve and close enough to listen. First National Bank of Springdale.
Welcome back. You see a shot of Coach Gerald Williams, who reached the 200 plateau. And there you see Kevin Broyles being let off the field, is shaken up temporarily. And we're going to be back to action now as the Bulldogs break the huddle. First and 10, ball to the 35-yard line, 11:30. So 30 seconds all that has elapsed in this third quarter. Brad Downham with Batchelor and Golden, and Parker in the backfield. He split out wide, Parker in motion, Handoff to Golden as he gets some hard yardage up inside. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards. And they're going to mark him with about a 3-yard pickup there, as you see Golden trying to get up. I tell you what, I love to see games played on grass and guys like Golden, and they get mud all over them. You know, I mean, that's real football. The field was in good condition for tonight. It's getting a little bit worn tonight. You can see the wet spots. So second down, 7 yards to go. Ball on the 32-yard line. Parker gets the handoff. Huge hole. You could have driven a truck through that hole. Excellent blocking by the offensive line of the Springdale Bulldog offense. And John Parker has picked up good yardage there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 1 yard to go. Ball spotted at about the 26-yard line of Watson Chapel. We again want to thank those who sponsor this game: Lehman Shopping Center, Worthen Bank, Pete's Inn, Springdale Dodge, First National Bank, and Elmdale Baptist Church. If you don't have a church home, we recommend to you Elmdale Baptist Church. Brad Downham takes the snap, fakes a handoff, pulls the ball out, heads outside. He has a 1st down, and he's down to the 15-yard line. So Brad Downham doing so well what he has done all season long, running this offense, which has really racked up the yardage, scored the points, and under 10 minutes now on the 16-yard line, the Bulldogs are threatening to score again. There's the snap, handoff to Golden. He gets hammered by several Wildcats, but does manage to dive forward for a yard or so. It's going to bring up a 2nd down. Tommy Golden zeroing in on the career rushing mark by a Bulldog coming into this game, had 1,209 yards. And has added to that total tonight, though I don't think he's close to the 100-yard mark anywhere yet. Needs to reel off a good run. 2nd down, 8 from the 14. Downham rolls out, has Parker in the end zone as he leaps forward, is unable to bring it down, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Downham's had a little bit of difficulty connecting tonight, just a few inches there, and Parker could well have had a touchdown. He was wide open, having beaten his defender. And so on 3rd down, we'll see what the Bulldogs will attempt to do from the 14-yard line of Watson Chapel. Watson Chapel an even 500 coming into this game. Springdale is 8-2. Brad Downham with Williams out wide, pitches to Golden. He fumbles the ball. There's a scramble for it. Watson Chapel signals that they have it. Ball still rolling around. They're going to get it to Watson Chapel. So one of the very few miscues the Bulldogs have made this season is they have a positive turnover ratio to boast about, but they do turn the ball over there. And so Watson Chapel averts near tragedy with that. And they're going to have the ball at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. With the clock running under 9 minutes. Kevin Williams, quarterback for Watson Chapel. Cedric Griffin, the tailback, and James Parker in the backfield. Parker's the deep back. Now comes in motion and sets up in a pro set. Handoff inside, and he's going to get perhaps a yard or 2 on the play. Was Parker the fullback. The host of Bulldogs, the defensive front of Springdale, has dominated this game.
Number 12, James Parks. And on the tackle, number 35, West Coast, and number 44, Steve Blackwood.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down, 6 yards to go, as they do give him 4 yards. He rode out the defenders for a couple of extra yards. Williams, quarterback, takes a snap, heads down the line, keeps the ball. Good line surge there by Watson Chapel. Going to be up close to 1st down, but they're going to be, it appears to be a few inches short. They're going to depend on the mark, as they've gotten the ball up close to the 25-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and very, very short yardage. for the Wildcats as they need to get at least to the 25-yard line and perhaps beyond. The crowd cheering on the Bulldog defense. Williams, quick pass, has a man. He has the first down. He was hit immediately on receiving the ball by Paul Williams, but nonetheless he makes the first down for Watson Chapel. Just a little quick slant-in pass, sort of a surprise that they would call that. That was Kenneth Broyles, who had left earlier, having been shaken up, so Kenneth no worse for the wear. Maybe a little sore after that shot there by Paul Williams. First and 10 with 7:20 and counting. Kevin Williams, quarterback, takes the snap. He hands off to the tailback, Griffin, and he breaks several tackles, gets up to about the 45-yard line. It's going to be another first and 10 for Watson Chapel. And the Bulldogs need to come awake here in the second half as Watson Chapel puts two first and 10s together in a row. Springdale, if they win tonight, will be on the road next week. Williams brings his troops up, fakes the handoff, pulls the ball out, heads down the line, runs into Wes Coates, who brings him down, but not before he gains about 3 on the play. Wes Coates, the leading tackler for the Bulldogs, comes into the game with over 100 tackles. Leader in terms of overall tackles and well as solo tackles. Has just had a tremendous season. I think the Springdale coaches would tell you that's a pleasant surprise for them and something they were looking for from Wes. So second down, 7 yards to go, ball in the 48. Williams is going to drop back. He's going to get hit. I tell you what, he's going to stay down for a while. He got shellacked by Chad Adams, and he finally gets up, tries to shake it off and say, I'm okay. I tell you what, he really got whacked. He got the pass off, but the force of the collision that Chad Adams hit him with, let out a lot of oohs and ahs by the crowd. The force of that collision caused that ball to just sort of die almost in midair, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. And Watson Chapel, if they want to stay in this game, must make a first down here for nothing else to keep the Springdale offense off the field. Williams takes the snap. He's going to pass. It's a screen pass. Well-developed screen pass. And he's going to make a first down. Tommy Golden makes the tackle. Excellent play call as the Springdale Bulldogs sort of pinned their ears back and went after Williams. They took the bait, and Williams set up an excellent screen pass. And so Watson Chapel drives into Springdale territory at about the 44-yard line of the Bulldogs. He's going to mark it at the 43. So first and 10, Watson Chapel, just under 6 minutes in the third quarter. Kevin Williams takes the snap, fakes the handoff, comes down the line, pitches to the man as a forward pitch, so it'll be a pass. Good play there by Kenny Watson, but he got the pitch off. It was actually pitch in front of him. It is going to bring up second down as they got the ball to about the 35-yard line. The nose of the ball is on the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up a second down and 3. And so Watson Chapel is able to do some things here in the second half that the Bulldogs shut them down, so they may have made the kind of adjustments that they needed. We're going to have a timeout here for equipment as Kenny Watson comes off the field for something in his mouthpiece. And he's going to be replaced by Jacob Hayward. Now we're set, ready to start. Second down, 8 to go. Williams takes the snap, hands off to the up back. He's going to have the first down. So good line penetration by the offensive line drives the Bulldogs back. And Watson Chapel is putting together an impressive drive. Remember, it began with a turnover. Tommy Golden couldn't get the handle on a pitch, and they began at the 15-yard line. And they're now at the 30-yard line of the Springdale Bulldogs. .5:30 and counting. Another handoff to the tailback, and he gets good yardage inside as some holes are opening up. Cedric Griffin, who coming into this game had about 700 yards, is quietly picking up some yardage this evening. Been about 2nd and 3, 4, somewhere in that vicinity. 2nd and 4 is what they're going to market. Ball's on the 31-yard line of Springdale. The clock is moving under 5 minutes in the third quarter. Kevin Williams, quarterback for the Wildcats, has his team on the move. He fakes a handoff, pulls it out, had a man, but it was in and out of Stephen Whitfield's hands. He couldn't get a handle on it. Well thrown ball. Kevin Williams can really put some zip on the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 yards to go, and these are all crucial 3rd down conversion attempts for the Wildcats. If they have any hope to stay in this game, they need to continue this drive, score a touchdown, and then they'll only be 2 touchdowns behind. It's conceivable they could come back from behind. Springdale, a little lethargic, needs to make something happen here. Here's a handoff inside, and he appears to be close to 1st down territory. It will depend on the mark that they give, and they give him a 1st down. So already the Wildcats have 5 1st downs in this drive, and that's more than they had in the whole first half, as they have the ball on the 20-yard line of Springdale, and Springdale needs to wake up and stop the Wildcats. Williams is going to get thrown for a tremendous loss as he came down the line, wanted to pitch, couldn't pitch, then looked like perhaps he wanted to drop back to throw the ball, and ultimately ran out of bounds, and they're going to be dropping him for about a 5-yard loss. It's going to bring up 2nd down, 15 yards to go, and that's exactly what the defense needed to do, is to put them in a hole. There you see some of the crowd, or you did see some of the crowd, who were very, very cold on this November evening, November 13th, 1992. Hopefully a day that'll live in infamy for the Wildcats. Williams drops back a pass. It's the screenplay again. Excellent play. John Conklin blocks it. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Had he not blocked that, that could have gone for a big gainer, as again the Springdale defensive line surging pass, smelling the quarterback sack, did not recognize that it was a screenplay. John Conklin knocked the ball down. And so brings up 3rd down, 15 to go. The ball's on the 25-yard line. Kevin Williams, senior quarterback, drops back. He's going to go for it this time, has a man, and he fumbles the ball, picked up by the Bulldogs. No indication yet by the official. They're going to call him down, it looks like. Now they're finally waving it incomplete. No question. It's going to bring up 4th down. Bulldog fans boo that. And I think that's one of those things you're going to have to watch the replay to see whether or not he had that. But whether he had it or not, the official said he didn't, and that's what counts. And so there's no instant replay. It's 4th down, and the Wildcats take a timeout. And with that, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back after this message.
More and more, our customers are getting a great night's sleep on Spring Air back supporter mattresses. You can too. All Spring Air bedding is on sale at Lehman's now. Prices start as low as $96 for twin set, $129 for full set. The selection has never been better. The prices can't be beat. I sleep on a Spring Air mattress myself, and I think you should too. Come in today during our sale. Lehman's, 500 block East M Avenue, Springdale.
Well, there you see the Zebras, who, according to our cameraman Dale Tyler, who had a perfect view of that last play, says they blew it. It was a completion, and they dropped it. There you see a shivering fan. That's about what everybody was doing. We're trying to keep warm. There's a couple of youngsters who have a wise idea. Maybe they keep out of the elements. Bulldogs number 1. Back to the field. At any rate, it's 4th down. You don't have instant replay. And so the Wildcats have an opportunity here. They call the timeout, probably wisely so from their vantage point, to set up a play here. This could be the opportunity of the game for them. If they score this, they're back in the game. If they're stopped here, then certainly the momentum would shift towards the Springdale Bulldogs, and the offense will be back on the field. Williams drops back for a pass. He gets brushed. Finally brought down by Chad Adams. And I tell you what, you may have to call that a coverage sack. Williams looked downfield, saw no one open, stepped up into the pocket, and by that time, the Watson Chapel lineman could not stop the hard-charging defenders of the Springdale Bulldog defensive line. And when Williams stepped up, he stepped right into the arms of several Bulldogs. And finally, Chad Adams, along with some help, was able to wrestle him down. So, 3:55 and counting. The Bulldogs have a first down at 31-yard line of their own territory. Parker takes the handoff, or not Parker, Golden takes the handoff. Inside, he's going to get a couple of yards on the play as he gets up from underneath the pile. And they're going to give him just about 6 inches or so on that carry. We'll call it 2nd and 9, but he really didn't gain much in terms of that, if you could see the stick. Downham got quarterback. Parker in motion. Hands off to Parker. Parker needed to make one play. Couldn't get beyond number 54, Todd Maxwell, who's had a really good game thus far for the Wildcats. A loss of a yard on the play is going to bring up 3rd down and about 11 for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs began the second half driving down to the 15-yard line, 14-yard line actually, and suffered one of the rare turnovers, one of the rare mistakes they make. Watson Chapel then marched down the field. Downham sets up for a pass, has a man, but was simply overthrown and could well have been intercepted. Andy Neese was the intended receiver there deep, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Bulldogs, I think, only had to punt once in the first half, and of course that was a precipitous punt for the Wildcats as they fumbled. Springdale recovered. So Paul Webb gets ready, sets up for a punt. Here's the snap. It's good. Good high spiraling kick, fumbled and recovered very quickly at about the 36-37-yard line by the Watson Chapel receiver. And so Watson Chapel will come out on the field again and hopefully try, for their sakes, to make something happen. And Bulldog defense needs to come out and put a stop to that. 2:20 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Springdale went out on top 28-0, then gave up a touchdown late in the 2nd quarter, 28-7, and are still ahead by that same margin. Handoff inside. Great line penetration that time by Kenny Watson. Kenny Watson just blew through the line, met the running back in the backfield for about a half-yard loss, almost helped him take the handoff. Great job by Kenny Watson there. I'm sure that play will make the Watson highlight footage. And the Wildcats break the huddle, facing the 2nd and 11 with the ball on their own 36-yard line. Their quarterback, Kevin Williams, the senior, drops back, sets up with a quick pass, and West Coach makes a great play. Had a man. West Coach was in the way. West Coach has had such an outstanding year for the Springdale Bulldogs. He makes a stop, and it's 3rd and 11. As the Bulldog band cranks it up. Pat Ellison does just a tremendous job year in and year out. Represents the city of Springdale, Springdale High School well. 3rd down 11. We're going to have a penalty. We got a man in motion, so this is going to be academic. Williams makes more yardage on the sideline than they made on the field. He's going to be driven out of bounds, but we're going to have an illegal procedure as the running back jumped just a little bit early. Fisher's going to talk this over. And we'll get a decision here. That's exactly how this is going to be played out. Again, remind you, if you're watching this Tuesday night, this game will be replayed on Thursday night at 7 o'clock also. A couple of weeks ago, it didn't air at 7 o'clock. Tommy Golden's dad called me and said, Mark, the game's not playing. I ran down there, and it was my mistake. My computer runs off military time. I did 1 year of ROTC my freshman year at Ouachita, but they didn't teach us military time, and I had put the wrong time in, so I apologize for that. Hopefully have corrected that. 3rd and 16. Under 1 minute left. Williams hands off. Incredible. 1st and 10, Wildcats. West Coates made the tackle. Just a quick handoff. And the Wildcats have a 1st down. And so the Bulldogs would have had them held. The penalty backed them up, and they still made the 1st down. As they cross over into Springdale territory. Williams drops back, looks for a man. Excellent defensive play by Tomo Wharton. The receiver, Stephen Whitfield, had the ball, but right when the ball got to him, Tomo Wharton hit him, and that was the end of that. So it's going to be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Kevin Williams got a pretty good arm. And if he had a little bit better cast around him, he might be maybe a small college prospect. He's got the size, 6'1", and seems to have good speed. Quick handoff inside. And the Bulldogs do stop this one, but not before 4 yards are picked up. And again, that's just a little quick opener. James Parker, the fullback, who's a little 5'8" senior fullback. You see Risha Estes, one of the cheerleaders. Risha goes to Elmdale Baptist Church, one of the key youth and the youth group there, dynamic youth group led by Hug Radler. If you're not involved in a church home, we welcome you to come to Elmdale. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the Bulldogs ahead 28-7. We'll be back after this message.
Oh, you watch your daughter grow up in what seems like 20 minutes, when all of a sudden she's off for college with half the house and a little prayer. He took a student loan from Worthen to do it. And with Worthen all over Arkansas, I can open her student account here, send her there, and at least know the money's taken care of. Well, it may not be the picture of me I'd hope she'd take, but it's still a little piece of home.
Well, welcome back. 28-7 as we begin the 4th quarter. Watson Chapel has dominated the 3rd quarter statistics, but they're still 3 touchdowns behind. But they do have the ball with the 3rd down as they drop back. As he rolls out, he's got 1st down territory, tucks the ball under and runs, gets by a couple of tacklers, and makes a first down. Watson Chapel now has 7 first downs in the second half to Springdale's 2. Watson makes the tackle on Kevin Williams, but not before he gets down to the 30-yard line. Depends on where they're going to mark it. It appears the nose is going to be on the 30, so we're going to call it the 30-yard line. First down and 10. It's kind of been the tale of two teams here. Williams fakes the handoff, pulls it out, cuts back inside, and gets stopped by Wes Coates, and Wes gets another solo tackle, but not before some significant yardage is picked up on first down. 8 yards is going to be the pickup, and so it's going to give the Wildcats a second down and 2 with the ball on the 22-yard line of Springdale as we wind this clock down for the Bulldogs, who have appeared a little lethargic here in the second half. When this snap occurs, it'll be under 11 minutes. Kevin Williams takes the snap, hands off to his tailback, and he's met by a host of Bulldogs. Jacob Hayward, one of them, and he's driven back. You see Jacob there on the bottom, getting up. John Conklin also in there on the tackle. It's good play by the defense, who has given up some yardage tonight, but has stiffened up when they needed to. And has made the tackles. So 10:28, Kevin Williams needs to make something happen for the Springdale Bulldogs. He takes the snap, comes down the line, great defensive play. He passes the play to his running back, who was trailing him, then got out ahead of him, Cedric Griffin, but the pass was incomplete, and so we're looking at a fourth down. So after having made 8 yards on first down, Watson Chapel as yet didn't show anything on the last 2 plays and are faced with a fourth down and 2. This is a must situation for Watson Chapel if they don't have any hope whatsoever of staying in this game. Springdale defense. There's the snap. He's rolling out. He's got plenty of room to run this ball. Does so. Toma Wharton drives him out of bounds, but again, not before Watson Chapel makes another first down. At the 10-10 mark left in this game, Kevin Williams is doing what he was unable to do in the first half, and that's to make this offense put some yardage together. And as yet, the only thing they have to show for it is the touchdown that they scored at the end of the game with 51 seconds left, and most of that yardage was accumulated against the second team. However, Springdale has just been a little bit lethargic here thus far. So with the ball on the 15-yard line, inside handoff, and he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line to about the 6-yard line where Wes Coates brings him down. And that was the fullback James Parker, the 5'8", 60-pound senior. Good yardage on first down is going to bring up a second down with about 2 yards to go. The Wildcats can make a first down before they score, if they do score. There's a handoff again to the fullback, and he's in for the touchdown at 9:33 in the fourth on a 7-yard touchdown run. James Parker has his second touchdown of the night, and that quiets this Springdale Bulldog partisan crowd. And I see a few cheerleaders and a few parents on the Watson Chapel sideline, but there's not many folks there as they again try or line up in the old swinging gate and shift back to try for the single point. And we have a penalty. And we'll see just exactly what the call is going to be. Offside Springdale. So Springdale picks up their second penalty of the night. And we'll see whether or not this changes the strategy. Watson Chapel doesn't appear to be so. As they snap the ball, rather high snap. Kick is up and it's good. And so 9:33 left. It's 28-14. We'll be back after this discussion.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge on prices.
We work with you in getting the best manufacturer's discounts and the best trade-in allowances possible.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge on service.
We believe that the real service starts after the sale, making sure your car runs right and fixing it immediately.
Nobody, but nobody beats Springdale Dodge.
Come see us. We'll prove it to you. Who are you?
Me? I'm nobody.
Springdale Dodge on South Thompson in Springdale.
Well, everybody thought this one was over when the Bulldogs went ahead 28-0. I said as much. And since that time, Watson Chapel has scored 2 touchdowns. Springdale really has not been able to do too much. They did have one drive to start the second half, but ended in a fumble. They tried onside kick. It's covered by the Bulldogs. Watson Chapel doing a little cheerleading there as it was clearly fallen on by a Bulldog. Off the bottom of the pile comes Bryn Abbott. And so the Bulldogs will set up with good field position at the 9:30 mark. And I tell you what, they need to make something happen here, just for nothing else, for confidence going into the next round, and for nothing else to make sure that the Watson Chapel Wildcats don't have a chance to get back in this game. Downham is going to be smothered as he gets up close to midfield, and Watson Chapel getting fired up as their players are attempting to get what few fans are here and their sideline fired up for them. And Springdale, to really keep this thing a lid on it, needs to put together some first downs. 1 yard is going to be the pickup. 2nd down and 9 is going to be the call. Brad Downham, Clinton White, Parker in motion. Golden, he's going to drop back for a pass. He's got Williams. That is a good defensive play. Paul complaining there, but he touched the ball, and by that time the defender has the right after he touches the ball to hit him. And that's exactly what happens. And a 3rd down. The Springdale Bulldogs ball is really not thrown real well. Bulldogs don't convert here, and you're going to have Watson Chapel players higher than a kite, and the defense for the Bulldogs will have their hands full. Golden in motion. Downham hands off inside to Parker. He's got good running room. He's got a first down. And goes inside the 40-yard line. And that's just the 3rd first down of the Bulldogs, but it comes at a good time. And it sort of takes a little bit of the fire out of them as the Bulldog cheerleaders get excited about that and say, we're number 1. So a 9-yard, about 10-yard pickup on the play. Ball to the 39-yard line of Watson Chapel. Golden in motion. Downham takes the snap, hands off to Clinton White. Clinton White had one man to beat, couldn't get by him, but gets down to about the 30-yard line. So good yardage on first down as he gets close to the first down marker. Going to be about a yard short. It's going to be 2nd down with about 1 yard to go. Just under 8 minutes as the Bulldogs putting together a drive here. They need to just consume the clock, eat up the yardage, and put it in the end zone and put this game away. Downham hands the ball off to Batchelor. He's got the first down. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. And the Bulldogs are doing what they did in the first half, driving the defensive line of the Wildcats back, opening up the holes. That's the light of the band there and the fans in the stands.
And number 64, Casey Shea.
So it's 7:30 and counting. The Bulldogs have a 1st and 10 with a ball on the 28-yard line of Watson Chapel. Brad Downham hands off to John Parker. And Parker gets inside the 25-yard line. about the 24-yard line.
He's down to the 24-yard line for the Cardinals.
And so it's going to be a carry of about 4 yards and bring up second down. About a long 6 is what is going to be the mark.
And a 3 on the play brings up
Going
second.
to credit him with only 3 yards, so it'll be calling 2nd and 7. Neese splits out wide. Down with Batchelor and Golden and Parker in the backfield. He hands off to Golden, quick opener. And Golden gets stopped by 2 or 3 Wildcats. Gets down to about the 21-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Bulldogs and about 3 yards or so required for the 1st down. There you see the clock. Ball's marked at the 20. Appreciate our crew for sticking it out in less than admirable conditions. Stand up with a snap. Fakes a handoff. Pulls the ball out. And really kind of depends on the mark. I think he's going to have the 1st down, but it depends exactly on where they're going to put it. You would think that they would go for it at this point. They're shy. And it looks like they're going to be about a half yard short. This is the kind of thing you think that Downham could just take the snap for a big Don Strickland and follow him. We're going to try to give you a shot just down the line to see exactly what the Bulldogs will do here. Downham does just exactly that. I tell you what, with big All-American candidate Don Stribby taking airplane rides to Notre Dame and places like that, if he can't drive them back, nobody can. But we've got an injured player on the field. Paul Webb is holding his knee, and that would be crucial for the Bulldogs, not only in the loss of his capabilities on offense, but he's the Springdale punter. I don't know if someone fell on him or what happened, but he went down immediately. The Bulldogs do have a 1st and 10 when we resume play. The ball's on the 15-yard line, and Paul's up. Walk that one off. Sometimes those big linemen, as they're trying to push guys back, people can fall on their legs. That may have happened to Paul. So 1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 15-yard line with 5:25 and counting. Downham hands off to Golden. He runs into the line and is stopped. We're going to have a penalty. Chapel.
Number 65, Michael Ward.
And Golden is down now. And that would be indeed a great loss. Tommy Golden, face down, they roll him over. Great concern as to just what's exactly wrong with him. Some of the Watson Chapel boys cheering, but this may come back to haunt them. No indication yet as to just exactly what the problem is with Tommy Golden. It's going to be a major penalty against Watson Chapel. They're taking their time with Tommy. Tommy's moving now, and it appears they're going to try to help him up. So boy, I tell you, when you see your franchise go down, you really pause. And of course, Bulldog fans, anytime they see a player go face down and not move, you just really let That's a hard sort of stop. But Tommy Golden is one tough kid. I wouldn't be surprised if we wouldn't see him come back just to say, I'm okay. There's a handoff, touchdown. Excellent running play there. Quentin White gets his second touchdown, an 8-yard touchdown run at the 5-minute mark. So Quentin White extends the Bulldogs' lead back to 3 touchdowns as the offense gets back to clicking. There's a snap. Booger Mosley's kick is up and good, and so the score now is 35 points for Springdale, 14 for Watson Chapel. We'll be back after this message.
Well, if you're hungry for some pizza, come on and live it up at Pizza Inn. It's the place to live it up, made fresh from scratch. Live it up. We pound it on. Live it up. Best pizza anywhere. Live it up. Until that pizza's gone. If you love pizza, the Inn is the place.
Live it up at Pizza Inn's all-you-can-eat buffet. Enjoy your favorite pizza, spaghetti, salad bar, and dessert for a lovely price.
Serving you at Fort Smith, Fayetteville, and Springdale.
There's the band who are celebrating the fact that Quentin White has probably put this game away. It looked like early on in the second half that it was going to be over with as the Bulldogs went ahead 28-0, but Watson Chapel came back and scored 2 touchdowns, made it 28-14. The Bulldogs of Springdale took the kickoff, marched down the field, and after Tommy Golden got shaken up a little bit, Quentin White took the ball into the end zone, 8 yards for a touchdown. And so the Bulldogs are back up by 3 touchdowns. Watson Chapel has only 5 minutes of which to do anything, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of passing by Kevin Williams. Tips the kick, and there it is. Kind of a deep kick taken. And John Parker makes the stop. And says something to the Watson Chapel players. It goes off the field. I'll tell you what is so key in that last touchdown is just for confidence sake for the Bulldogs. They really had it their way in the first half, no contest whatsoever, and you would have hated to see them go in the next round with some question marks on a team like Watson Chapel. So that's a good drive. Makes a pitch, has a man wide open. Eludes the tackler and then is inundated into Springdale territory. And Springdale better not cheer too soon, as that pass was completed and good yardage made. The ball's on the 41-yard line of the Springdale Bulldogs. 4:30 is what's left in this game, as Kevin Williams has had a great second half. If he'd had this kind of half in the first half, Bulldogs would be in trouble. Inside handoff, he's going to gain about 3-4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a second down. The clock is the big enemy of the Watson Chapel Wildcats at this point. John Conklin, one of the ones in on the tackle, along with a couple of other Bulldogs. 2nd and 7, just under 4 minutes in this game. The clock is going. A little confusion on the Bulldog defense. Williams drops back, tries a quick pass, and is driven down by Chad Adams. First, John Conklin had a hold of him. He lost him, then Adams grabbed him, then Conklin helped drive him down finally. And so they get the sack. They're going to give him a little bit of more yardage than what he initially had. Loses 5, however, and so it's going to bring up 3rd down in about 12. A long 12 for first down. The ball's on the 43-yard line as we're moving close to the 3-minute mark, and Watson Chapel, for a team that's got to score 3 touchdowns to tie this, doesn't appear to be in any hurry, and that's really a coaching flaw right there. You've got to tell those young men, get in the huddle, get out, and get the play called. The screenplay set up by Watson Chapel. Good blocking, but the Bulldogs do stop it, but he does get back a lot of the yardage. It's going to bring up a 4th down, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy, but this late in the game and down 3 touchdowns, Watson Chapel would need to go for it. Again, I'm confused at why the clock is running. They have, by my estimation, 2 timeouts left. You know, you try to teach your kids to win a game. I don't understand Watson Chapel's taking all this time. 4th and 3, ball on the 33. Williams rolls out. He's going to be rushed by West Coates. We've got a penalty. He's driven out of bounds. He's going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to be a clip against West Coates. The Bulldogs will probably decline it. And they will have held the 2:05 mark. Good defensive coverage there. West Coast blitzed in and was chasing Kevin Williams. They're called holding. It is declined by Springdale. And so it's a 1st down as the ball's turned over and the second team offense comes into the game for the Springdale Bulldogs. Now again, we have number 21 for Springdale, and we do not have him listed on our depth chart, any of them. I'll tell you what, if any of you know, well, he comes back out now. If any of you know who number 21 is, write us a letter. Call us up and tell us who that young man is. Is this the 2nd week in a row I've not had his number? Clint Miller, quarterbacks. Confusion there. Drives forward for a couple of yards. I said early on we'd probably see a host of replacements for the Bulldogs, and Watson Chapel made it close and kept the fans in the stands. They're beginning their exit to their cars now. Hope they all had die-hard batteries so that they could start up, get out of here. So Clint Miller, 2nd down, 8 yards to go with the ball on the 37-yard line, takes the snap, hands off to Josh Trollinger. He's going to get maybe a yard or so on the carry before he's brought down. And by the time we have the next snap, it's going to be under 1 minute left in this game. Appreciate our volunteers who braving this cold weather. Jeff Kimes down on the field, sogging around. Tammy Ross got up off the sick bed to come run a camera for us. Dale Tyler out on the concession stand, as the Bulldogs going to make a yard or two, but are going to be shy. Wayne Lockhart, our faithful director, out shivering in the truck. Those folks giving up their time to bring you this exclusive replay, as this will probably be the last play of the game, as Trey Williams is dropping back and is going to punt. I don't know why they even would. I think they'll just let it run out. But he gets the ball off and gets the punt off, and it's taken by the Watson Chapel receiver, and he's tackled, and that's the end of the game. And the Bulldogs are going to advance with a 35-14 win over a really game Watson Chapel Wildcat